Welcome to Salento with Love. I'm Davide Mengoli, and I don't know if this is another series. I don't know what it is, but if it is, it's definitely going to be Mississippi with Love, because we are just about to start tackling this property. But I want to turn the camera around and start this series showing how time stops in some people's lives, and then years later, when the right thing comes along, love can be reinjected. And I've done that in my personal life to so many properties, and it's amazing to share that with people around the world. And it's even more amazing is to find people that have the same passion and love that I feel for properties and past lives. So let's start the series, Mississippi with Love. What is the first phase in this particular project? Well, the first phase is to take out, dispose of whatever it's in there that needs to be taken away, including some of the demolition elements, demolishing some of those walls and partitions that were built over the years and are not part of the floor plan of the building. So please, 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 when you're doing a refurbishment anywhere in the world, please be careful of anyone that quotes very small prices to clear out the building materials or anything that is found inside a property. So this is a rule that I apply. We are here to introduce beauty, and in doing so we need to make sure that we preserve the environment. So in this particular case, Ecom and Fabio De Matteis, who is actually one of the owners of this company, it's been here. He's looked at the materials, he's taken photographs of everything, and then he's come back with a quotation. Just now, I assisted, for example, they put the lights on, and down in the basement there is actually a pipe going into the cesspool, which is also in amianto, which is asbestos. So they had to take a photograph to put it and fill it into a logging book. So when they take it to the recycling center, it can actually be logged in. So anyway, this is just some of the little things that you need to know when you are refurbishing a property, and just clearing up a property from some of the stuff that is left in there, and demolishing a couple of little walls and get rid of some of these things could cost 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euros. So make sure as well that you budget that when you're starting a project. Things are moving on, and it's incredible to see what are the beginning or the first stages of getting an ancient property back to life again. First of all, there is a lot of testing. There is a lot of exploring, a lot of really making sure that things can stay, what needs to go, what needs to be improved, because you need to reach that balance between what it's important and what unfortunately needs to go simply because it's falling. Also, you need to think about plumbing, electrics, which it will require. Unfortunately, they don't do Wi-Fi plumbing and either electric, so there will be some chasing into the wall. So into these initial stages of an ancient property, it's important to think about how can I maximize the beauty and the elements that are part of their history. So let's step inside. This is the downstairs unit, and as you can see from the renders provided by Cubico, it's incredible how this space is going to be totally transformed. Already some work it's been done in these last few days since the site has been started. And the first part was, let's explore the plaster and see if it can be saved. But also we're on the ground floor. And when you're working at the ground floor, you're always going to have an issue of rising damp. It's just the way properties were built back in the days. There was not a damp course, so automatically you're going to have a situation of damp. How do you resolve it? Well, we'll see through the course of the series what materials they use in order to fight the issue and trying to block it as much as possible. It remains one of the best things is to create circulation of air within the building. So here they started to demolish the old plaster, and as you can see, through the years trying to block damp was always an issue. And so they've used cement in order to do that. Now, this is actually one of the worst things that they could actually do to a building. It stops the breathing and automatically the walls get even more damp. The idea of a material that is used is really to allow a circulation of air so the walls can breathe. And then we step into this space. Wow, this star-shaped ceiling is amazing and incredible. As you can see from the render, a beautiful bathroom here is going to service this space. Love to see the fireplace there. And even here, the plaster is just falling as soon as they touch it, and you can see the old plaster that they used to use, which is made up of soil. I'm gone black in the dark, and pebbles. But this cement that was actually put on probably in the 70s and 80s has created really a big damage. So it needs to go to make space for some good materials. Now let's have a look at the other unit. This is magical, this space here, over the 2 floors and with a beautiful roof terrace. And already just looking at the stone outside just makes you really understand how beautiful these buildings were when they were built. Luigi's in here. I think sometimes these guys are superhumans. They come into this building and they do just chew, eat, breathe dust. And it's just part of the process that they're going to do. Now this staircase in here, it remains one of the most beautiful features that I have seen in buildings. Because this is not a palazzo, it's a small property. So to step inside a small property and have a cast iron staircase with such beautiful details and fine details, it's a pretty rare thing. So I feel that this is a very, very special building. Now here already a lot of tests have been done to leave those beautiful patinas that have been built over the years. And even on this staircase, started to clean up the surface just to see how they clean up. And you can see this beautiful stone. Should we step inside the smoke area? Oh my God. I'm not wearing a mask. Amazing what's happening there. So I just would like to go upstairs. Maybe a little bit less dusty up here. Wow. This space is fantastic. And I must say, when we saw this property for the first time, we were a little bit concerned about a little movement that this building has had over probably the decades or centuries since it was built, but it will be taken care of. And what a wonderful space. Oh, we're going to try really. You see this green, it looks like emerald. Now, unfortunately, as you will probably notice through the course of these videos, a lot of the plaster is coming off. So yes, it's nice to save and preserve, but at the same time you need to be practical. Otherwise you spend a huge amount of resources and money to bring the property to a beautiful standard, only to have issues a little later. So this first episode of Mississippi with Love is just coming to an end, and actually it's quite amazing because I was on the roof finishing this episode, and over there I'm just waving to 2 of our guys that they're actually doing some roof maintenance on another property. Anyway, let's not get distracted. I can see people working all over the place, but it's amazing. We started by clearing up right at the beginning months ago a lot of the things that were done inside the building, from building partition walls, taking a septic tank that it was built in solid concrete into the basement, doing quite a lot of clearance of old furniture and things that were left. Then we stepped on to making sure that the property was properly connected to the sewer, to the grid and the water. And so big excavation happened outside, and after about 9 months of waiting, it happened. We followed the process all the way through, and finally we had water connected to the property. Now the contractors are on site, and these two, because there are 2 properties, so we're going to gel them into one, but they're 2 houses. Once they're finished, 2 houses connected to the grid, connected to the electricity, and also we'll be talking about that and how important it is when you have units like this to make sure that you split those things just in view of future things that can happen or that you can decide. Options are great. So what can I say? It's been a fantastic start to this first episode, which probably some of this filming started 4, 5, 6 months ago. We are now at the beginning of this incredible wave of restorations and refurbishments. So I hope you've enjoyed the first video of Mississippi with Love. I always love your comments. I love your support. I can actually feel it and sense it. So thank you very much. And thank you very much to the proud owner of this property that is going to see the transformations, who's been trusting the process right from the beginning. What about you? Are you going to be here in Salento soon? Well, until then, subscribe to the channel, press the little bell, leave the comments below, and stay safe wherever you are.